He possesses a unique blend of personal experience and professional training, having honed his craft in dance at the renowned State Ballet School Berlin, explored musical theater, and immersed himself in the dynamic Berlin acapella scene. His online voice training courses focus on fostering the development of strong, commanding voices by integrating vocal exercises grounded in applied vocal anatomy and fostering emotional connection. He empowers singers of all levels and genres to reach their full potential in both singing and speaking. Guiding students towards their best vocal expression is his passion. Voba is just an amazing person to talk to. He's so full of light. He has a playlist on YouTube where he teaches a lot and lots about vocal anatomy, so you do well to check that out. His YouTube handle is simply Voba, V-O-B-A, as simple as that. And trust me, when you see that channel, you will know it's his channel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast today is the amazing, sensational coach Voba. Hey guys, welcome to the part 2 of the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast. I just with Coach Voba, and here is Coach Voba talking about what it means and what it entails to sing without a register-centric mindset.
It makes you way more flexible, right? Let me give you an example. So you hear my speaking voice. My speaking voice is about there, right? It's maybe like there. It's a pretty low speaking voice. Now, I'm a tenor, but I speak low. I speak low because my vocal cords are pretty thick. They are very muscular. They have a lot of connective tissue because I practice to stretch my voice for so long. Now, when I sing a very high note, for instance, it's a pretty high note for males, right? And then I want to pull that note into chest voice without, break, without changing the gears. Then I can do it. And I can go in and out, right? That's a flexibility that this thinking less in vocal registers and more in how much of what muscle action do I want to put in a song, in a sound, will provide you, right? It's just more flexible, and it's always healthy if you learn how to really pull your vocal cords long instead of shortening them with falsetto. Then you'll be more flexible, you'll be more free, you will be able to sing in the mountains and have the echo from the other mountains reverberating, and is just a really amazing feeling. So I think registers is helpful to be like, oh, maybe here I should be a little lighter because there my chest voice, for instance, can't pull so well anymore, right? But this is like a support. Yeah. It's a little thing. It's not, oh, my entire voice, I should think of it as in registers. No. Because also the head voice encompasses the chest voice. It's like an avocado. It's like the core of the avocado is the chest voice, and then the flesh of the avocado, the green stuff that we eat, is the head voice. Because your chest voice, what I define chest voice is this sound. That's chest voice, right? A very squawky, pingy sound. Yeah. And that on the very low end, there, you can't really do it. On the very highest end, you can't really do it. So that's why I'm saying it's like the core of the avocado, the seed inside. And or then
an analogy of an egg also.
Or
it's like egg. The yolk, then the
exactly.
the shell outside.
Exactly. And maybe an egg is even better because it's not as separate, right? And the head voice kind of like is also in the chest voice range. So my definition, this is head voice, right? All of this soft sound is head voice. On all of this, very, very pingy, squawky sound is chest voice. Now, that obviously makes... this understanding makes you free to think less in, I can never sing higher than this note with a very pingy sound. it expands. Your vocal range really expands once you start to understand the difference between falsetto and head voice, and you start to hear it in your own voice and feel it in your own voice and hear it in other people's voices. Your range expands. The capabilities that you thought you could never attain will expand, So there's so much, so much positive, so many positive things that you will gain once you start thinking about the voice rather as a lever, how much of, or a knob, a fade in, fade out knob of how, which muscle group I want to fade into my sound, how much, rather than a register. Oh, this is this register, this is that register. The voice doesn't work that way. The voice can work in a way where it's a smooth transition throughout your entire range, and you have one voice. And this one voice makes you one, not only physically as in vocally, but also it helps you be more one with your emotions, with your entire being. Because then when you sing, the entire room, your entire body resonates, and you just are one with your sound. And that's an amazing feeling. And that's why I think this focusing less on vocal registers and just using it as, something that might be helpful, like once a year in a class, is a very, very good switch of our attention, I think.
Are there specific exercises or techniques that can help singers transition from this register-centric mindset and embrace this new ultimate approach?
Of course. I mean, first of all, yawning, right? Yawning. If you can have an authentic yawn on every note of your register, even the very high ones, then my voice is open. Right? With the falsetto, it's very, very difficult to yawn. It will be, if at all, it will be some kind of fake-ish yawn. But if you can really make your body yawn with a note, then this note is really an open note that is in my register. In my range, in my vocal range, in my real vocal range. I call it real vocal range and not real vocal range because clipping off is really dangerous, this vocal cord shortening, which I call falsetto. So yawning can really, really help you discover and also develop your voice, because most people, they can yawn over like 1 octave, maybe 1.5 octaves, not more than that. So yawning is very, very helpful to stretch your voice, because in order to clip off parts of your vocal cords, in order to shorten your vocal cords, you have to make everything tight. And once you don't let your throat go tight anymore, then your vocal cords have to use the stretch of the vocal cords rather than the clip off in order to create higher sounds. And therefore, yawning is really helpful. Yawn through songs, yawn through speaking, yawn. Connect yawning with your voice. And there are certain exercises that you can do that will help yawning. Also, a second thing that is really helpful to embrace this alternate approach is thyroid cartilage wide. Your thyroid cartilage is in your throat, and everybody has it. Women as well as men have it. Just with men, it always sticks, the front always often sticks out more as the Adam's apple. But everybody has it. And this cartilage, you can, first of all, you can Google it to see what it looks like. And in there, your vocal cords are situated. And this cartilage, you can leave it in resting position, or you can pull it wide. And when you pull it wide, it's a bit of sound like this, right? It goes more broad, it goes more wide. And then this is resting position again, which is not wide, right? And when you pull it broad, again, your vocal cords are pulled away from one another so they can't meet in the middle to do this clipping off that I call falsetto, this vocal cord shortening, this immobilizing the vocal cords. And that will also help you, first of all, have a nicer, broader sound, right? When you sing like this with the wide thyroid cartilage, it's a nicer, broader sound. And also it will help you develop your range. It will help you keep your throat open while you sing. So these are the two exercises that I really recommend everybody to just play around with because they're super helpful.
Speaking about vocal development, how does this approach affect other parts of our singing? How does it affect other parts of our singing? I mean, there's resonance, there's posture, there's your vocal health to talk about. And singers do not like to imagine they would have to think about all this stuff when singing on stage. So, practicing using this method, this mindset, how does it affect our vocal development?
Well, first of all, obviously, you're gonna, if you know about the fact that you are able to immobilize parts of your vocal cords and that is not healthy, obviously you can be more healthy, right? Because you will be sensitizing yourself, your ears, and you're feeling in your body, oh, am I maybe making something tight? Am I clipping off parts of my vocal cords? Am I shortening my vocal cords, or am I not doing this, right? It will help you with your health. Obviously, breath control. Now, we practice, especially with my anatomical vocal training, I practice in order to not have to think anymore, in order to just have an open voice, a strong voice, where I open up my mouth and I don't have to think about, oh, can I reach that note?
Just have everything work naturally.
Exactly. It's just my new norm. So I practice so much that when I go on stage, I don't have to think, oh, how am I going to reach that note? What about my breath control? It just happens naturally, right? That's the goal of real good vocal training, that you don't have to think anymore. That is just your new norm to open up in the middle of the night and somebody says, oh, sing a high note, and you can do it because it's easy. It's your norm. It's not something special that you have to even warm up for, but it's just something that your system just does because it's used to doing it so effortlessly. And so obviously breath control, is part of it. Because if you want to sing, something, then you have to be able to hold the air in your lungs. By the way, that's the definition, the actual definition that I use for support, because everybody uses a different definition for support. I think the most effective definition of support is to retain the air in your lungs, so that not the air pushes out or goes out, but like really stays in your lungs as good as possible, as long as possible. That goes along with the understanding that the vocal cords are not just passive in creating sound. They are actually active. They're vibrating actively, not just passively. But that's like for maybe another time. But obviously, breath control, resonance, when you open up these spaces through yawning, through this thyrocartilage wide exercise, then obviously your resonance is going to be a different one. You resonate within a room when your inner spaces are bigger. The bigger your inner spaces are, the more resonance you will have. So learning how to deepen the thyrocartilage, how to widen the thyrocartilage is really going to give you resonance in the biggest rooms on the planet, right? Like I said, in the mountains, you can open your voice and your echo will come from, the other mountain a mile away. So yes, this is understanding your anatomy is an overall helpful tool in order to develop your voice.
Thank you so much, Voba. It's always amazing. It's always enlightening talking to you. All right, guys. I know some of these words, you just hear them for the first time. And I do know you need more information on this. You can always go to his website and check. He has curated a playlist where he teaches all of this stuff with more depth. Okay? It is VobaVocalStrength.com. The vocal strength has a hyphen in between them, so vocal-strength.com, and you have all the information. You can also check his YouTube. I said that in the earlier introduction. You can always check his YouTube. He has so much more. That'll be all for today. Thank you so much for listening, and it's a bye from me. Bye.